may not have been my first preference, but of course I'm going to do it as a mom. And it's a way that, yeah, it stretches you and it just humbles you a little bit because it's not about me as much as it would might be nice.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great example.
Yeah. So what do you think is something that like would describe, because your idea is like coming home, creating a home that is just strong and people want to come home to. Like what does that look like and how do we take the practical steps to doing that? You kind of share some of those things.
Yeah, come on home. And I love that phrase. My mom
Mhm.
used to say that to us, like, just, if things were out of whack or you're out and you're having a hard day, she'd just be like, come on home and we'll figure it out. Like, come on home. And it's not about the building, right? Like, it's about the
Right.
relationship too.
Yeah, the
And
family.
we may not have kids that move to a giant compound, right? But just producing a culture that they want to come home and that family is their safe place. So, I mean, there's so many layers. Like I talk about like 8 different things in the book. But if you want to talk about like the home in particular, I talk about building a nest. And again, like what's so cool is that it's personalized. So that can feel stressful to me of like creating this magical haven, like, because decorating is something I have to like work hard at. Some people are great at it, but really it's about loving the actual people in our home and thinking about, is this an inviting place to be? Like, do they like to be here? It doesn't matter if everyone else does, but are
Right.
they loved and served in this environment? And people need different things. Like some people are like a cluttery, some people like it more structured, but just building a haven, because life is just really hard right now. Like, and to be a kid and, you couldn't pay me to go back to school. And so I love the idea of like creating like this safe space where our kids can come in from the nonsense and the stress and know that whatever happened out there, it's okay in here. And we do that as moms, is I think we set that culture and set that vibe.
Yeah.
Millions of different ways you can do it, but it can look a lot of different ways, but they will all require attention and us
Yeah.
giving of ourselves to make that home. But I
Yeah.
love that, again, to our earlier conversation, it looks so many different ways. Like my home doesn't look like my sister's home, doesn't look like my mom's home, but I think we've all, kind of created this space that loves our families most of the time, some of the time.
Yeah. Well, again, we're not perfect. There are no perfect families.
Right.
But I think also, like, I think it goes back to a lot of what we've been talking about is that the home, it may be physically being cozy, but that comes from curling up and watching sports together, eating blueberry muffins. It doesn't come from looking at Pinterest and Instagram and finding like the perfectly decorated, perfectly
Exactly.
clean house all the time. And we can get so caught up in that because it's just in our faces all day long. It's just this perfect home. And that's what's going to make it wonderful. And that's not true. That's probably, it might if you're really clean and really like decorating. But if you don't, it might just be really stressful.
Yeah, and I think we've all been in homes where it looked pretty, but you didn't really feel welcomed.
Yeah.
And conversely, I talk about my grandmother's, she had a trailer. I mean, it was a mobile unit, I guess. Trailers may be unfair, but it was cluttered. We loved being there though. Like she embodied, like, she loved every one of her grandkids so much. You knew you were welcome there. And she, she would go to Sam's Club and get like a 2-gallon thing of sliced peaches, which those are not really great for you looking back,
No. Like
but they
in the
were
pool of
good.
sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and if
So
you
it
get them at
wasn't,
grandma's
yeah,
house.
I know. Yeah. So, but we loved being there. And that was because of her. She was a really loving person.